Hello, Monique. How are you?
Hi, Professor. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Um, I just checked into the discussion board and noticed that you were not signed in yet. So please don't forget to sign into the discussion board, right? Today's forum.
Professor,
Yeah.
that exam of yesterday, the rounding thing, it bothered me a little bit because I think I got everything wrong, but because of the rounding.
Well, whatever. Look, whatever. Look, I looked into every exam and whatever deserves redemption, I redeemed it.
Oh, you did?
Okay, I did. I don't know if you were particularly um, in that category, but I looked. It's not that many. I mean, there aren't that many people in this class, so I looked into everyone and needs to be um, whatever needs to be given, recognition. I did,
Oh,
and but again, primarily, you are responsible to follow the instruction. You have to pay close attention to the instruction and comply with it. Actually, I believe
right. You noted your announcement. You made it very clear. But however, when I try to put it like, let's say I'll put a decimal, sometimes when I will save the answer, let's say,
listen, anything that was correct got corrected. Okay,
okay. Mm-hmm.
so you can go back to your exam. You can still view it. See, you can see whether you got any, whether you got, as long as it was correct. I gave the points manually. I mean, originally, if I have too many people, then I can't do that. But, so primarily the computer grades it. So you have to use your good sense. The computer wouldn't, if you miss, something like, if there are people that added, like dollar sign and percentage, those, the computer cannot make that discretionary judgment. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to exactly comply with the instruction. Um, but because I gave points back if people, even if they made that kind of mistake, but as long as they got the numbers right, I gave them points. And as I said, you can go back, revisit your exam, and you can see what you got right and what you got wrong, and you got my feedback too. So wherever applicable, I made those corrections, and so check it out. Okay,
Okay.
if you I don't know if you have checked it out since the exam, but
No, I have. I'm scared to look at.
so go back and check it out. I made comments if the comment was necessary. For those that didn't need the comment, I didn't do anything, but it's basically the matter of compliance. Okay, I want to I want to share my screen with you, but again, we can go over. But again, um, then you don't have privacy. I mean, if I share a screen, everyone, it's visible to everyone.
Okay, no, not now then.
Uh,
I mean, there's no one in the class, so.
yeah, yeah. Right now, there's no one, but I just saw a while ago someone was, signing in and then left again. So, Okay, I'm gonna Monique. It's not just you, because other people. I mean, you are looking at the names are shown, and since Jesus, I'm sharing the screen now. So this is okay right now.
Jesus Christ.
That clearly you got it wrong. Got it wrong. You got that wrong. But something like this. Okay, that was correct. That was correct. And that's wrong. Incorrect. Incorrect. Whatever is incorrect, it's incorrect. Okay, so it's not due to rounding, right? This one, yeah, there's, as you can see, there's a margin of
Oh, so
error,
here
or
we go. So
look,
here we go. Let's
so
question number
something like
24.
this. Listen, something like
Question.
this, you got that right. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not the there, the answer allows for some range. Okay, so you didn't get any of that wrong. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
what you got wrong, it's quite obvious. Okay,
Okay.
that's clearly, what you got wrong. They are clearly wrong, and so that's
Clearly.
why, in your case, there wasn't any gray area in your case. Okay, everything was, just as it was. Okay, and then so, and then I also want to direct your attention to okay, okay, we have, like, 7 people currently signed in, and there are, okay, only you here, and Hannah has joined but inactive, so that it looks like there's only you in the collaborate. Um, but again, if you go to so I posted, right? I just I posted, test results with attendance, right? I don't know if you have noticed this. And have you noticed this file? There must have been, a notification that went out automatically. Once I post something there, it automatically goes out. Okay. So let's see. Oh, no, 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 not that one. What am I opening? Okay, here. Okay, so can you see this Excel file?
Yes.
Okay, so since I believe you're still the only one in the are you the only one in the collaborate?
No, there's another person.
Okay, so but you can, you can go by your student
Yeah.
ID and see where you are. Okay, you gotta check where you are, and then let's see. So for privacy, I wouldn't mention, and here's Maricel, and basically this file was posted there this morning, and current, this person didn't do anything. I mean, there's just record of, one attendance, but hasn't participated in anything. Now, so the weighted, I told you exactly, how the how your, semester grade, where it comes from. It's weighted average. 40% of the 40% from the homeworks, and 25% from midterm and final. So clearly, we don't have this data yet. We don't have this. We don't have this data set. So the mean of the weighted average is this. So of course this will change, right? This will change as we, as I get, homework 3, homework 4, homework 5. Of course, weighted average will change. And finally, when I get the final data in, then weighted average will change. So what this means is, so far, each homework is like 8%. So this is 16%. So far, 2 homeworks, 16%. And this is 25%. So so it's barely, 41%, right? Based on only 41% of the data, and attendance is 10%. So far, so this is like 51% of the data. And of course, attendance will change. And you can tell, if you go to this attendance sheet, right? This worksheet, and this is actually in the alphabetical order. So it's not in the same order with this, but you can tell where it is linked to. This person's attendance record, attendance is in I2. I mean, it's in Z14. Okay, this is so Z14, right? So basically, then 40%. So far, it's only 16%, as I said, and only 25% from midterm, and then 10% from attendance. So based on that, the mean of the weighted average is this. And in calculating the mean, this person is eliminated because this person is practically non-existent in the class. So the head count 13, right? Out of 13, the highest was this, lowest was this, mean was this, standard deviation was 15.46. That means if you're about, one standard deviation above mean, so it would be about, 46. So about here, normally I use that as the cutoff point for A minus. Okay. But no letter grade is possible just yet. No letter grade is just possible because we are still missing about 50% of the data, right? Once I get, complete 50%, complete 100% of the data, then everything will change too. But again, the criteria will still be, the same. About one standard deviation above the mean will be the cutoff line for A minus, or sometimes it could be 8 if the mean is high, if the mean is relatively higher than historical mean. Okay. Now, and one standard deviation below mean, so that would be about 16. Nobody, there's only one person that's below 16. So one standard deviation below mean is the cutoff line for C minus. Okay, so the way the grade is distributed is strictly statistical. Okay, so because there are like 9 grades between there are 11 letter grades if you think about it, right? A and A minus, right? And then B, C, D, all each of them has three further classifications, B plus, B, B minus, right? And C also, right? um, C plus, C, C minus, right? So there are, that's like, 8. And then there's D, right? Of course, D also has, D plus, D, D minus. So basically, BCD grade, grade, BCD grade classifications make up nine grades, and with A and A minus 11 grades, 11 grade levels, right? So basically, I one standard deviation above mean will get A minus and A. I mean, and then between um, within one standard deviation around the mean, like one standard deviation um, within one standard deviation around the mean. That's one standard deviation plus one standard deviation. I mean, a mean plus one standard deviation inside, underneath, right? And minus one standard deviation and underneath. So those will be B and C will be distributed between those. And B minus will be, so if you are just about here, so like here, right? What can you expect? I mean, there will be some range around the mean, like 0.25 standard deviation above and below mean. So if you're within that range, then that will be, so one standard deviation, within one standard deviation around the mean, that's where usually, B minus is, given, because B minus is the median grade. Think about it. Out of 11 grade, from A to D minus, out of that 11 grade range, right? 11 grade levels, B minus would be exactly the median. So if you are somewhere around here, that would be, and also it depends. Also, if the mean, not right now, at the end of the semester, after everything, I get 100% data. If the mean of that particular semester is higher than historical mean, then there will be adjustment for that. The mean doesn't get, in that case, mean doesn't get B minus. The mean will get B. But basically it's a very objective, fair and objective criteria, because the mean gets the median grade, and that's there's nothing disputable about that. So that's what that's how you interpret that. Okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Because we need to so just also just want to also remind you again, today, is it today? Tomorrow. Homework 3 is due tomorrow. So without further ado, let me so let me continue where we left off yesterday. Where is that? So we talked about vertical analysis and horizontal analysis yesterday, and we did that example. We didn't have, so we got to talk about the ratio analysis, right? So ratio analysis is a very it's a very crucial and fundamental aspect of the financial statements. In other words, all the companies and all businesses, when they say, you may have heard of the term fundamentals. Well, it's not only businesses, not only on microeconomics level, but also on macroeconomics level, they use the term fundamentals, the fundamentals of the economy, the fundamentals of the business, fundamentals of the company. What does that mean? What does the word fundamental mean? Fundamentals mean basically, these, financial ratios. They are financial ratios are the really the crux of the fundamental analysis. And when we say fundamentals, everything, there's no rubbish. In other words, all verbiage is rubbish. I've been telling you, verbiage, they can say a lot of, colorful things about a company. Oh, the company has, is it's got a promising market, the company's technology can be, has a huge potential, blah, blah, blah. All these are verbiage, right? Who doesn't want to say, I mean, if you're promoting your business, you will always say, this company has a huge potential, its market potential is something, currently the client base is growing and the technology can be is promising, all these things, it's all rubbish. You understand? You can't say anything in words, right? That's why I'm always saying, words are rubbish. And in your homeworks, anybody who writes words in the homeworks, has a worded narrative, you don't get points, for putting worded narratives in the homework, right? You may have noticed that. Because words are rubbish, they can be misleading because anybody can put it into colorful narratives, right? Especially, and they can always have an ulterior motive. And who does that? Even what they, security analysts, they are on the sell side. In the financial market, there's a buy side and sell side. Buy side is, buy side is the asset management firms, managed funds, because they have to put the money into the stocks and bonds, the financial assets. But the investment banks are on the sell side. Why? Because investment banks are trying to underwrite IPOs. Investment banks are trying to help companies go public. So basically, what investment banks do is they take huge underwriting fee when they launch an IPO. Okay, so So think about it. If you are on that side, if you're on investment bank side, I mean, if you're one of the analysts on the investment bank side, your report will try to cover, portray that company very favorably, right? And then after the IPO, the investment banks no longer care whether this company is really doing well or not, because once at IPO they got their cut, they took their um, they took their um, fees, underwriting fees, and um, so sometimes there are um, any analyst report from the sell side, uh, you must take it with some grain of salt, because you can't trust them 100%, because they will always try to portray that company positively, from a very positive light. You understand? So um, basically, then what do you need to do? You have to, you should be able to run the fundamental analysis of the company. So, what is the fundamental analysis? It Everything comes from financial statements. You got to look at the balance sheet and income statement, cash flow analysis, cash flow statement, to make that assessment about that company. Okay, so it's not words, no matter whatever the words are always, you pick up a like uh, annual report of any company. uh, the annual report will always look very glossy. The picture is so fantastic. It's almost like a utopian image. They always portray um, the first page. Is the there's a um, picture of the chairman or CEO, chairperson. Sometimes chair and the CEO are one and the same person, but sometimes different. And it's always a very generous looking uh, man, a white Caucasian man, in his 50s or 60s, with a big smile, um, dressed like Arnold Palmer, right? Um, and in the greetings, always very positive things, And what they say is, always, we uh, we pursue happiness of the, we serve the community. It's always like, we serve the community, and that's our goal, that's our mission. But how much rubbish it is, you would already know. There's no business that serves the community, I mean, that's the pure goal or mission. There's no company that whose ultimate goal or ultimate pure mission is that serving the community. I mean, serving the community could be a byproduct, but the ultimate goal of any business is to maximize profit, right? They never say anything about that. So, and then a lot of, they show only like um, pictures and testimonials of happy customers, happy clients, and only show the And please don't forget, tomorrow is the uh, due date for your homework 3. Okay? Um, so I will have to call it a day here. I will call it a day and sign out. First stop. So take care and don't forget to submit the homework 3 tomorrow. I will see you guys on Monday. Okay? All right. Take care, everyone. Nobody greets. Nobody says even goodbye. Uh, just quick to leave. All righty. So signing out.